Ladies and gentlemen, Dynamite Soul Eric Walker coming to you live from my home in the United Kingdom. This episode of World Walking, with the holidays fast approaching, I tend to not get out as much. But that doesn't stop the work from getting done. In addition to that, my thing for 2020 is goals, putting them out there for the world to see. So this episode, top 10. What is it, you may ask? Just wait and see. And so this weekend, I went down to the Portsmouth School of Wrestling, which is attached to Revolution Pro Wrestling, to really get a feel for the British style, the home of British strong style, if you will.
Hi guys, my name is Andy Boy Simmons. I've been a professional wrestler for nearly 20 years. I've been running the Portsmouth School of Wrestling for 8 years. We opened this wrestling school 7-8 years ago. There wasn't many options for aspiring pro wrestlers in the South Coast. And there was a couple, but they had kind of like a pretty poor reputation. So we wanted to provide a safe and encouraging atmosphere to learn professional wrestling, because when I got in professional wrestling 20 years ago, it very much wasn't that atmosphere. It was very much you have to, I'm trying to think of the terminology, but like you had to really prove yourself, which I agree with thoroughly, but we wanted a place, an encouraging and a better way to bring people into the professional wrestling world. So hopefully we're achieving that, and mostly there.
Dynamite Soul here with another list for you all. Top 10 opponents for 2020. Now, I know you're thinking, Dynamite, we see these lists of all the time. Oh, I want to wrestle such and such. Look, a couple of things. Number one, last time I made one of these lists, I wrestled nearly everybody on it. Number two, most of these matches were supposed to happen, but unfortunate circumstances prevented them from happening. And number three, let's face it, I get things done. So, list time. Ray Rosas, one of SoCal's premier talent and trainers. Guy's done everything from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, turning out amazing trainees down at Millennium Pro Wrestling. And severely underrated. And he was giving out open challenges, so who knows? Royce Isaacson put a $sign on that S. Now, me and Royce, we go back from Canada to Denver, Colorado, and now he's in the NWA, Atlanta, Georgia, my neck of the woods. Now, he likes to deadlift people. I like to knee people in the face. Good combination, I think. Royce Isaacs. Chuckles the Clown. Now, I'm not one for clowns. I don't like clowns, but this guy, so innovative, so creative, and yet so dangerous. Interesting test. Chuckles the Clown. Brutal Bob Evans. Now this one goes without saying. I say Bob is my mentor. He has not only helped me become a better wrestler, but a better person. And his notorious Iron Week. Never had an Iron Man match. What better way to show the man who I respect what I've learned? Brutal Bob Evans. Mance Warner, Larrington Lightbeard, the eye poke god. I remember history lesson. I was there in Lafayette, Indiana, where he trained under Billy Rott. Now he's going up in the pay window. And this match, Tennessee was supposed, through an incredible amount of contrived coincidences, was supposed to happen. But more coincidences and unfortunate events prevented this match from happening. Needless to say, Dynamite Soul, Eric Walker versus Mance Warner. Can you feel that? Mance Warner. Special Dark Suge D. Now, in the entire time I was in Georgia, I only met Suge once in North Carolina. We both live here in the United Kingdom. I have followed Suge since I started. And to see the parallel, to see the things that this man has said about how people trying to pigeonhole him, trying to put a ceiling on what he can be and what he can do and why he can't do this and why he can't do that is a story I've heard for too long. This match, it is to show just how little people know. Two guys who should have got way more credit, who earned more respect, showing them just how good they are and just how wrong everybody else was. Special Dark Shug D. The revelation, Shane Marks. Another fact. The entire time I was in Georgia, the entire time I've been a part of PCW, I have never, in any way, shape, or form, stood across the ring from this man. Stephen Platinum has gone on record by saying that Shane Marks is the greatest wrestler he has ever trained. I consider Steve my trainer. So what better way to see your growth, to see how big and bad you are, than to test yourself against the benchmark himself, Shane Marks. Hammerstone. Now, this match was supposed to happen February, Fargo, North Dakota. Unfortunate circumstances. A star-studded card where this match was going to steal the show. It didn't happen. But time has only sweetened the potential. And this match, come hell or high water, will happen. Hammerstone. Joe Black. What can be said about this guy? A whole lot of things. Something about me. A noted promoter once said, "Dynamite, you lack a killer instinct." Once upon a time, that may have been true. Not anymore. And what better way to test if you got a killer instinct or if you just fronting than this man? To paraphrase what he said once, you either be prepared to kill or you get ready to die. The only person I feel and I know can test whether that killer instinct is where it needs to be is the killer weight himself, Joe Black. Last but certainly not least, Chris Jericho. Now, I know you're thinking, Dynamite, man, at least the other matches have a potential to happen, but Chris Jericho? Really, man? Listen, Chris Jericho was one of the last great journeymen of his time. Went all over the world, training in every single style, proving across multiple world-renowned companies that he is undoubtedly one of the greatest of all time. And you hear people's, "Oh man, if such and such hadn't retired, if such and such had in the past, I would have loved to have been in the ring." Well, the caveat to this, the one difference between all that is that this one is still 100% possible. Now you're thinking, Dynamite, you're a long way from challenging somebody like Chris Jericho. Well, that may be so. But I've proven time and time again that I can get things done. That there is very little that once I set my mind to it, I can make it happen. I like to consider myself a journeyman wrestler, one of the few around today. And what better way to test myself than against the man who I emulated and tried to pattern myself after? Chris Jericho. So there you go, top 10 opponents for 2020. Can I make it happen? Just wait and see.